Hey guys! Today I'm going to be doing another book unhaul. This is actually part 2. Part 1 covers the mangas that I plan on getting rid of. So if you're more interested in mangas than novels, I highly recommend that you go check that video out. Or if you want to see me get attacked by a little puppy dog too, towards the end of the video, you can also just go and watch it for that. Said dog is still here and sitting in my lap, so she'll probably attack me again. But I have a lot of books to get through, so let's just get started. A lot of these books are part of a series, and I'm not really sure which order they go into, because I had them all in storage, and I just decided that there's no use them sitting in storage. They might as well go to half-price books where someone can enjoy them. First up, I have Sin Undone, Intensity Unveiled, Passion Unleashed, Desire Unchained, and Pleasure Unbound. And I'm pretty sure this is actually the first book in the series. All by Larissa Ioun. I don't know how to say her name. But this is actually a really good series, and I really enjoyed it when I read it in high school. But it's just I've lost interest in adult paranormal books, so they gotta go. Then I have Lover's Bite, Demon's Kiss, and Angel's Pain, all by Maggie Shaney, which I don't recall actually ever getting to this series, but I did read her other books, so I decided to pick these up, but I just don't think I ever read them. Then I have 2 by Twilight, Twilight Hunger, Edge of Twilight, Embrace the Twilight, and a second copy of Twilight Hunger that I did not realize was a double copy until right now. That's interesting, but kind of different covers. But these are all also by Maggie Shaney. And I think Embrace the Twilight is actually the only book of this series that I've read. So, all in all, I just really haven't read a lot of Maggie Shaney, so I decided it's no use me having all of her books. Okay, next up is Unleash the Night, The Dream Hunter, Dream Warrior, and Dream Chaser, all by Caroline Kenyon. Probably didn't say her name right. I'm not going to say the majority of these authors' names right, guys. I'm sorry. But this is actually a terrific series. It's just, I've lost interest in it. Next I have Smoke and Fire by Donna Grant. Then I have Lover Avenged and Covet by J.R. Ward. I really like her Brotherhood series, and I read the majority of those books. I think I just haven't read the last 3. But these 2 books, sorry, the dog's knocking the camera. But these 2 books I haven't really read, and I really am not interested in anymore, so I can't keep them. Next up, I have Dakota Home, Always Dakota, and The Manning Sisters by Debbie Macomber. And I loved her books so much. It's just these 3 I didn't like as much as her other books, so her other books I'll reread. These I most likely won't, so it's no use me keeping them. Next up is a big stack. I have Cherokee Heart, My Sunshine, Here to Stay, Perfect Timing, Annie's Song, which coincidentally is the name of the dog I'm sitting for, Lucky Penny, Early Dawn, and Sunkissed, all by Christine Anderson. And as you can tell, I really like Christine Anderson from all the books of hers I own. I actually own more of her books, but these books, it's just, I've already read them, and even though I really like them, YA has ruined me for adult novels. I can almost not read an adult novel, especially contemporary, after reading a YA one. It's just, YA is just so superior. Okay, next I have Betrayed by Love, The Maverick, Rogue Stallion, Outsider, and Lawman by Diana Palmer. And these 2 books especially I really liked, and I think I have a couple more of her books somewhere in this pile. Next up I have Captive Dreams by Angela Knight and Diana Whiteside. And this is a book that I particularly recommend for adult readers, because it can get quite graphic. Next up is Close Enough to Kill, Cold Hearted, Don't Say a Word, and Dead by Morning, all by Beverly Barton. Beverly Barton. That's a tongue twister. I've actually read all these. I've actually reread all of these, I think about 3 times. But it's been a while, and just not into them anymore. Then I have Afraid to Die by Alyssa Jackson, and she's a lot like Beverly Barton when it comes to writing suspense novels. Next I have The Prize, The Promise, and The Stolen Bride, all by Brenda Joyce. And I have to say, The Prize is my favorite one of all of these, and I didn't want to get rid of it, but I know I'm not going to reread it. So it's no use it's sitting at the back of my closet collecting dust. I am keeping her other books though. I actually have a big pile of her books that I still haven't read all of them, but I really want to read them before I decide whether I'm going to keep them or not. The next up is Black Ice, Cold as Ice, and Ice Storm, all by Anne Stewart. And I'm actually keeping 2 of the books of this series because I've reread them at least 10 times a piece, and I know I'll reread them a lot in the future. Not only that, if you've watched my book Borrowing Horror Story, the first book of this series is in such bad shape I would have to pay somebody to take it. Next up is Lair of the Lion by Christine Feehan, and I love her Carpathian series and her Ghostwalker series. It's just this book I really didn't care much for, so it's no use me keeping it. I mean, I already own like over maybe about 40 of her books, so getting rid of one is not going to break me. Next, I have a large stack of these little mini novels, most of which I have reread at least probably about 3 or 4 times. First up is Defiant Mistress, Ruthless Millionaire by Yovine Lindsay. I know I said that wrong, I'm sorry. Then I have Boardrooms and a Billionaire's Heir by Paula Roy. Then I have Substitute Wife by Rachel Lindsay, and this is a really old book, but it's really good. Then I have The Business Arrangement by Natasha Oakley, and I really love this book. I know I've read this at least 3 times. Virgin, Bought and Paid For by Robane Donald. I said that wrong. The Sheriff's Doorstep Baby by Teresa Carpenter. And this one I actually have not read. It's just I know I'm not going to read it. A Billionaire's Defiance Acquisition by Sharon Kindrake. And I've actually read a few of her novels, and I really enjoyed them. I just really couldn't get into this one, probably because it's so short. A Virgin's Price by Melanie... I'm not even going to attempt her last name. But I've read this, I think, like twice, and it interested me, but it was kind of unrealistic. At least from my point of view, it was. Billionaire's Marriage Bargain by Leanne Banks. Bridal Op by Dana Martin, which I really love this series. It's the Miami Confidential series, and I kept the majority of it. I think there's just this one, and Covet Makeover by Mallory Kane that I'm getting rid of. I mean, it's like one big series. It's characters that show up in all of the books. They're just each by different authors, which is really interesting, and I really loved both of these books. It's just that I know I'm not going to reread them. And last but not least, we have Trace Evidence in Tarleton County by Dolores Flosson. Then I have Desperado, Heartless, and Merciless, all by Diana Palmer. And this is part of a series, and I can't really think what the series is called, but they're all really good books, and I kept my favorite books from this series. Then I have No Coming Back by Keith Houghton, and I actually won this off Goodreads, and I've had it for a while, and I don't think I'm going to actually get to read it. So if I'm not going to read it, I might as well take it to Half Price Books. Someone who has an actual interest in reading it can get it, and it's not just sitting on my bookshelf collecting dust. Then next up, I have the small stack of YA books that I'm getting rid of. The first up is the pocket paperback edition of Outlander by Diana Gabaldon. The reason I'm getting rid of this is because I already have a much larger copy of this book, and I don't need 2 copies of the book. Then I have Tricks by Ellen Hopkins. Next I have Ironside by Holly Black, and I was really excited when I got this book to read it because it was about Fae, and I was in a really big Fae stage at that time, and I just never got around to it. And now I've lost interest in any kind of book that has to do with fairies. Then I have The Statistical Probability of Love at First Sight by Jennifer E. Smith. A few of you may know that I love all of Jennifer E. Smith's books that I've read, except for this one. This one just, it irked me so much, and I don't want to look at it anymore. I don't. Then I have Pause by Debbie Mamber Kepfer. So said that wrong. But this is just another book that I've sadly just lost interest in, and it's just collecting dust. Next up, I have After the End and Until the Beginning by Amy Plum. And I just really did not enjoy these books very much. I mean, this is a reverse dystopian world, and I was really excited about that because that's very, very unique. I've never heard of a book being a reverse dystopian. So I was really, really excited, and there's no reason for me keeping them because I'm not going to reread them, and I didn't enjoy them when I read them the first time. Which is why I'm getting rid of Die For Me by Amy Plum. I'm not sure which book in the series this is, but I decided that I'm not going to even attempt to pick up the series since I didn't like the After the End duology. And last but not least, I have Keep Holding On by Suzanne Cosanti, and I really wanted to love this book because it was about a topic that I was really, really, really interested in, and it kind of butchered it in a way, and that could have been because the book was too short for the story the author was trying to tell. I really, really didn't like it very much, so this is another book that I just can't stand to look at anymore, so it's going away. Well, those are all the books that I plan on taking to Half Price Books, hopefully this coming Monday. I also have a lot of textbooks that the school I work at was going to throw away, so I'm going to take them to Half Price Books too, but they're in the trunk of my car, and you guys aren't interested in textbooks. But that is it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye! I am sorry I'm not paying you much attention. I'm sorry. Sorry. Love you too. Quit that. Thank you.